Hello and welcome everybody to the latest edition of Midweek Matters. I know on Monday's show I said I would be otherwise engaged, but the surgery is happening this afternoon. So
great news for our listeners.
Great news for our listeners. I thought I'd get the early mark, but no, going in this afternoon. By the time you're listening to this, I'll be in and out of consciousness.
Yeah, you'll be varicose veins free by that point.
Varicose veins free. And Charlie, you were giving me a bit of stick about the vanity involved in this, but then you've just had a good look at one of the veins in question, and I think you can see why I'm going to get that removed.
Yeah, it kind of looks like you got like a giant worm stuck in your leg. It looks feral. Maybe I'll take a picture of it, put it on our Instagram story.
Let's not. We don't need to do that.
But I mean, it is. I always thought of varicose veins as a vanity surgery, just because I had one of my good friends growing up, Sam and Joe Ite, their dad Murad, ex-kickboxer. His legs were cooked with varicose veins. He just played on. So that's and then Stuart Fielden was in here, which we actually got a special episode coming Sunday. Willie Mason and Stuart Fielden breaking bread after that dust up many years ago.
How good was that? Like, I was very nervous sat in between them, but out this Sunday, it's one not to be missed.
Yeah, they nearly had a boxing fight, I think, at one point. There's always different stories in there. There's a lot to it. It's a great chat. But yeah, your vanity surgery is my understanding is there's no health risks to a varicose vein. Is that right, James?
No, there are some health implications. Nothing life-threatening, I don't believe, but there are a couple of health-related issues that come with varicose veins, but I'm not a doctor, and neither are you, Charlie.
No, you're damn right. I'm not a doctor. To be fair, if I had that on my leg, I'd be doing the same thing that you're doing.
Yeah, I'm glad you can.
Mate, I've started getting some grey hairs, and I'm stressing about that. So let alone varicose veins.
Just quickly, again, we like to bring to attention the fact that we are independent. So, excuse me. Please like, subscribe, and all that jazz. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of the show. Spread the word by word of mouth and all that jazz, because it is really important to us. And just on getting old, Charlie, and things changing. Look at like the introduction of AI, and just how quickly things change. And even like I think back to like my dad, right? When he was having, or when my brothers were coming along, it was you'd be at the hospital, but not in the delivery suite. Grandfather, he would have got the stereotypical call at the pub, and obviously that trickles into like that dad's now being present at the birth, and it's not missed, and it's a special occasion. It's almost looked upon strangely, but how things can quickly change over time. So when I've been around the traps, and obviously I'm a little bit older than you, I've heard of people having baby showers.
Yes.
And at no point would a bloke go to a baby shower. Now, you were talking to me about a baby shower that you were going to.
Yeah.
And again, I understand your shallow understanding of it in terms of what to expect. First off, the fact that a bloke is going, it was... in my experience, a female-only event.
It's funny you say that, though, because I mentioned that I was going to a baby shower to another guy who was similar age to me. He's like, you go to a baby shower? It's like, normally it's just the girls go to that. Yeah. So I think it's funny, though, because I've been to 2 baby showers. I've only had 2 people I know who've had kids, and both of them were multi-gender baby showers. So I don't know what the right or wrong answer is.
Yeah, maybe it's just the circles you move in, but I think more alarmingly, you thought you were going to meet the baby.
That's not for this second one, but the first time I went to a baby shower, I thought I was meeting the baby. I thought it was you meet the baby, you give the baby gifts. Like, otherwise, I don't really understand the point of it, in all honesty. It's like it's purely a capitalism nonsense. Like, oh yeah, let's help these people with gifts for their kids. In all honesty, get your own gift. If you chose to have a kid, get the stuff you need for a kid. Don't rely on your mates to get you a cot or anything like that. Sort it out yourself. And I mean, like, basically you're just going to see the pregnant lady and just say, good on you, well done, nearly there.
Yeah, nearly
Congrats.
there. Here's a pre-gift, but then also when the baby comes, you got to go and give it another gift.
Yeah, and we were in a group gift for this most recent one. We got them a pram, Will and Lou Tinkler, a pram, and they were very happy with it. But then it was like, oh, do you get a side gift with the group gift? I didn't. I just went for the group gift.
No, you contributed in your own unique way. So well done. But blokes going to baby showers, bit of a no for me.
I don't know what the right answer is because another person said it to me. But who knows? Who knows? I've been to 2 of them, and it's been boy girl. I don't know if my beautiful girlfriend here, Siobhan, is here actually pushing the buttons today. I don't know if we have a baby shower, if we'll do boys and girls going to it. I'm not sure. We don't have a baby on the way, guys, so calm down, everyone.
You're planning the baby shower already.
I've been to 3 baby showers, Siobhan's telling me. Who was it? All been mixed. All mixed. Who was the third? That's right, Candace.
Were you drunk at one of these?
I've drank at all of them, yeah.
You really?
Yeah, isn't that like? Well, it's fun because I was doing the Cedar Surf on Sunday, so I didn't drink much on Saturday. I only had a few drinks, but people were going off into the night. There was a group of people who were having a great time.
This is clearly where it's been hijacked, and it's been seen as a more social event, and it is about. It's less about the pregnant lady.
Mate, it was at a pub. Woman. The baby show I went to on Saturday was at a pub.
Oh my. Yeah, well, it's not about the baby. It's just
it's a social.
It's an excuse funny, to get out.
Will Tinkler, sorry to throw Will Tinkler under the bus. I've mentioned his name like 5 times now, but he hasn't been drinking with his wife in like solidarity. So they've been during the pregnancy. He hasn't drunk alongside her. He's had a couple sort of mishaps along the way over the 9 months, and he's gone back on that word. But he was treating the baby shower like, oh yeah, this is a special occasion. I get to rip in for this.
Oh right, yeah. Okay. So he's seen it as a
social event. Yeah, everyone was enjoying themselves. It was good fun.
It's an interesting dilemma. That do you go sober? See, I view that as dragging people down with you, rather than like a necessary sacrifice.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't. For me, it doesn't make much sense because if you're going to drink, wouldn't you not drink once the baby's born? Because you'd be stuck in anyway. Yeah. Rather than have this 9 months period where then your life changes forever. Yeah. Like, do you want to drink during that 9 months? I know it's a shame.
Probably just rip in as much as you can, get it out your system, go bananas, like 3-day benders every weekend. Like, oh, this is me last hurrah.
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it. And then once the baby comes,
then you knuckle down.
I mean, pretty much first 6 months, dads are, just like a bit of a spare part.
Sort of in the way a little bit.
Yeah, just get in the way
in
so
where they can.
Get out.
Get out and about for that next 6 months as well. Yeah. I have got a good message of the week, actually.
Message of the week.
From someone. So this is from Scott Manson, who's emailed us in. I'm guessing he's Pommy. He said, thoughts of a loiner. What does that mean? Loiner. Thoughts of a loiner. I don't know.
Loin.
Yeah. He's from the north of England, it says in the email. A loiner. Loiner.
Thoughts of a loiner.
Yeah, a loiner.
Have you Googled it?
No, I haven't Googled it, no. He's a Leeds fan, though. Does that help?
I've got absolutely no idea.
That's all right. Well, it doesn't matter. It's not relevant to the question anyway. But that's the headline of the email. But he said...
That's just the headline of the email?
Yeah. But it's not actually like... It's not it's not relevant to this question. So I'll read you this question. Thank you, Scott Manson, from sending this in, by the way.
Oh, a loiner.
Yeah.
It's a term used to describe the residents of Leeds.
Okay, so he's a man from Leeds, all right? Yeah. You should know that, mate. Come on, mate. Come on.
Leeds scum. That's what I'd call someone from Leeds. Dirty Leeds, Leeds scum.
Okay, beautiful. Well, Scott Manson, thank you for sending this in. He said you can email us anyway at thebuyround@gmail.com. Message us on Instagram @thebuyround, TikTok @thebuyround. Just walk up to Jimmy in the street, ask him a question. He'll answer it there on the spot. But if you want to get it broadcast, that's the way to do it. All right. Anyway, the Rugby Union R360 Bobbins, highly unlikely to be a credible threat to the NRL in reality. But worst case scenario, we could see some players leave, but the bigger impact will be every player manager using R360 to inflate player wages in the NRL. I believe the NRL should bring out a rule that if you leave the NRL to play another professional sport, maybe with the exception of boxing, even once out of your contract, you can't return to the NRL for 3 years. Brackets, they won't register a contract. That would shut down any risk immediately, and I can't see any negative impact for the NRL in introducing such a rule. It would stop players taking the risk, as at the moment they could decide to give it a try and know if it goes tits up, they'll be able to sign back with an NRL club straight away. And more importantly, it will take away the negotiating power from player managers.
I understand that. We'll touch the first. We'll go the first point around not a credible threat. Well, I find this really interesting about what they're doing and how sport is changing, and how there's a lot of games being taken. A lot of sports are taking games overseas and going to an international market, and the NRL is part of that as well. When we look at the NFL going to England, I think Germany, and I think maybe Brazil. I just seen recently La Liga is looking to take a game to America. We've seen new competitions like the FIFA Club World Cup, like President Trump presenting the trophy to Chelsea, and a lot of money going into these new sporting competitions. So there seems to be a changing of the guard in how sports are viewed, watched, and supported, and even how a lot of fans now, they're not necessarily fans of clubs, but they're fans of players. Because for me, if an R360 competition comes in, and it's my understanding that this is going to be a really short comp, around 3 months, but it's going to go
July to September roughly.
Yeah, it's going to go to multiple big cities. So they bring in they have to bring in the best players, and you're going to go and watch these incredible players play rugby, and not because you support that team. There's no local close community feel to these clubs. There's no tribalism. It's just it's almost exhibition.
Yeah.
So if R360 takes off and these new teams that are invented and they're not stable, if it's not like the Bulldogs or the Dragons or Sydney Roosters or South Sydney or Brisbane Broncos, and we've had new teams, the Dolphins to an extent, and now the Perth Bears and PNG, but they are entrenched in an area geographically, and that will be built up over time. But it's my understanding that these teams aren't going to have a home, so to speak. It's just going to be moved around, and I guess what they're looking to do is attract eyeballs just to the best players. And maybe there's a bit of a both in attendance and viewership online. Maybe that's what they're looking for, but that for me is not what sport's about.
Yeah,
and I think it could be seen as a bit gimmicky, and it might pique interest at the beginning because it will turn heads. But then surely after a while, once you've gone and seen these best players play, and there's no, it's an annual event and it moves across the globe, kind of like the X Games or the Red Bull games that we see, the extreme sports where these things move around and the talent pool changes, and you're there to watch an event as opposed to supporting your club. So with a sport like rugby or like NRL, I think you need that level of tribalism. Otherwise, it won't. Not even it won't grow. It just won't last. The novelty of it will wear off. In my opinion,
yeah, I think you're spot on, because you need that tribalism. And then if you don't have the tribalism, you need to guarantee it is the best players.
Yeah.
So it's all of the elite players are playing this competition, which they're not going to get. They're not going to get the 100 best players in rugby and rugby league to go and play this tournament.
But also, Charlie, think about all teams. Like when you see players play for teams or clubs, and you see how much it means to these people. So a lot of people that grow up in the area or are supported this team. If this team is just, say, the bye round entered a team, if it's just the bye round, what's the association with it?
Yeah,
whom are playing for? All the incentive is on money. You're not playing for your fans.
No,
you think about the Bulldogs fans and the difference that they make to that football club. There's no chanting in the street at Belmore if it's the buy round FC.
Yeah.
We're just a blow-in, and we're just for clicks, and in terms of getting the best players, what drives performance is you want to be the best possible athlete, but there are emotional triggers that drive performance. Like think about pushing through injury.
Yeah.
Why am I as a player that I'm getting paid, my contract's guaranteed, if I'm playing for some team or club that literally means nothing really? It's not going to drive me to be the best teammate or to be the best team. Like it will to an extent, but nowhere near the ability to hit your maximum, or like playing for your country.
Yeah.
Like if I'm playing for my country, I'm going to go above and beyond. I'm going to play through pain, play through injury. The R360, I think they're going to, again, I think they'll turn heads. They'll attract eyeballs if it goes ahead. But I don't see a full-on credible threat, even with the number of players that they'll need to attract.
Well, they've got to get a certain number of players committed by a certain date to trigger another round of funding.
Well, also with the NRL, they're looking to get players by, my understanding is the
2027.
2027 or 2026?
No, 2027 I think would be the first year of this tournament.
There's a limited number of NRL players that would even fit into that category in terms of availability. Like legally speaking, they are under contract. The overwhelming majority would be, and certainly the better ones too. So even if it took 5 of those players, I mean, do you want them in the NRL? Yes. Expansion on the horizon, I mean, that's even more consideration to want to keep hold of those players. But I don't think it's, I can't envisage this being anywhere near the end. And we've seen players come and go before, and we've seen legends move on in terms of age. It just happens. Like Cam Smith goes, and Billy Slater goes, and Cooper Cronk goes, and all those other recent legends. They're just Melbourne Storm ones, Queensland ones, Gallen. Like these players, Sonny Bill, Sam Burgess, they come, they go, and then it's the next cab off the rank.
What about his other point then about stopping NRL players from 3 years coming back in if they go try another sport? Personally, I love it. We're going to likely see Mark Nwangani Tawase leave the NRL to go play for the Wallabies at the home World Cup here. Like maybe he wouldn't go if he has to stay if he can't come back for 3 years. I don't know. I mean, 3 years isn't that long a time. You almost need, if you're going to do something like that, maybe make it 5 years. But
really, we're going to restrict
trade.
It's a restriction of trade. I don't think. Well, I can't envisage the players' union being okay with this, and I don't even think in employment law you could put that caveat in or put that clause in. I think you could
forget about the legal side of it for a second. What do you think of the actual idea, though?
Fundamentally, no. But are you allowed? But because you'd say, okay, well, would you allow players to go and play in the Super League?
So I guess same sport though, isn't it? Rugby league.
Yeah.
He's saying other sports.
Yeah.
Yeah. So rugby union.
But if we're going to be that hypocritical, then we'd stop taking players from Super League because we're detracting from that competition.
Yeah.
So it's not good when it happens to us, the NRL, but it's okay for us to take.
Yeah.
For me, it's a hypocritical way of acting.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's fair. We'd have to practice what we preach and say, okay, we're not taking anyone else from Super League.
Super League's in a bit of a world of hell. I had a good chat with Luke Keary the other day.
Just before we go to that, that the way you could do it is potentially say if you leave, you don't get your retirement fund, which I know they've done in the past.
And that retirement fund is what access to?
Yeah, so I think there's around like 12, 13, 14 grand a year goes into...
And is that for surgeries? And
No.
Oh, so it's like a pension.
Yeah, so when you retire from rugby league, it's around, I can't remember the exact figures, but I think it would be up in the five digits
yeah.
of per season goes into a retirement fund for you.
Oh, cool.
And when you finish playing, you get that. So now if you're an NRL player and you play 10 years, you'd get well over 100 grand.
Oh, wow.
At the end.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah, and I think they used to put some of the origin payments into that, and then say if you leave, that goes back.
And is it like invested like a super or anything, or is it just cash that sits there?
Don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Super
sorry,
League,
Luke Keary,
yeah, I had a good chat with Luke Keary. Joel Tompkins, the head coach of Catalans, he actually likes the show, mate. He listens to it. Because Luke mentioned my name to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Charlie White from the Byron."
Yeah, he's a former teammate of mine, Joel Tompkins,
nice.
great guy.
Yeah,
him and his brother, fantastic players for Wigan Warriors. Joel is a great bloke, and it's funny. I'm at that stage in, I guess I was going to say career, but life where, and Sam Burgess is another players I've been teammates with. On our coaches, Josh Hodgson, another one, establishing himself.
Josh Jackson,
there at Parramatta. Josh Jackson, another one. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, even like Benji Marshall playing against him, it's like he's only been retired a year.
Yeah,
like he's not, but that's where my head's at. And then you see Joel Tompkins taking over as Catalans coach, and when I think of Joel, I think of him pure Wigan, and yeah, but. Sorry, go on.
Well, no, it sounds a bit like this. Obviously, everything happened in the Super League. We don't talk a heap about the Super League, but they got two clubs coming in. Sounds like it's Bradford and York. It does sound like it's been a little bit dodgy how those two clubs have come in. Maybe a little bit of conflicting interest by people who were in those powerful positions who could get those clubs and have chosen those clubs, but I don't know the full story of that. But where they're going to find these players from, these 60 extra players, and then we're expanding as well. We're going to get. Obviously, Perth Bears is coming in 2027, and we're going to talk about PNG later because it looks like they've got their head coach sorted. Then they're going to come in 2028, so we need 60 more players here. I don't know where all these players are going to come from. Really,
it does seem strange what's happening over there in the Super League, and it's a constant mess. Like the situation at Salford is absolutely disgusting at the moment. Like the way their fans have been treated, the way their players are being treated. It's just not on. There's talk that they may not even fulfill their fixtures. It is an absolute embarrassment to the game over there that this has been allowed to happen. And there's fingers to point at the club management of Salford, and there's fingers to point at the game administration that they've enabled this. I've just got no idea where Super League go from here. There is a conflict of sporting culture of promotion relegation. Obviously, a lot of history there with teams that are no longer in the top flight that want access to be at least to be able to strive for top flight. Here in the NRL, like that doesn't happen in American sports. It doesn't happen. They are franchise-based models. I've said this multiple times before around how the Women's Super League in football or soccer over there in the Premier League. Investors hesitate because they want certainty. They don't like the idea of promotion and relegation. And you can argue the point and say, well, that's not what you don't make the same, have the same levels of hesitation when it comes to the men's, and that's fine. But the Championship in the one below the Premier League would still compensate quite well financially. Still in cup competitions. The drop-off isn't as great. I'm not sure what it exactly is in the Women's Super League and going into their championship, but you can understand why, if it's your money, you want certainty, and maybe in terms of ways to grow a sport, that's the way to do it. Because at the moment, it appears as though, well, my observations in Super League, plans just continue to change, revert back to the old. And unfortunately, I feel there's a lot of government by self-interest. I know in terms of growth of the game and what the Catalans Dragons bring to that competition, they should be in. But there's a lot of club owners in England that don't want them in because they don't bring any fans. Yeah. They'd prefer a York or a Bradford that may bring 1,000, 2,000 fans as opposed to Catalans that bring 50. And it's like, really?
Mate, they make Catalans pay for all the other clubs' travel to France. It's like, surely the clubs should be paying for that themselves. I think it's an extra $1 million million Catalans have to pay a year just on flying the clubs over all year.
It's short-sightedness. And look, I don't have a silver bullet for the issues over there. I was listening to Sean Long actually on the Back 10 podcast, really good podcast hosted by a good friend of mine, Kyle Amor, that's just started, where they're talking about these issues in the game. They've got guests on, and even they were talking that they'd look to announce who the new two teams are on grand final night. And it's like, you've got to get ready for pre-season. It's just a joke. You're setting yourselves up for failure.
But mate, even this, how they've come up with these, I don't think the clubs knew, like everyone who was coming to this vote, they didn't even know they were voting on teams. It's like playing fantasy sports, and your mate calls up and goes, "Oh, we're going to add 2 more guys to the comp." It's like they didn't even know they were doing that. And then the fact it's Bradford and York, like there's a reason that happened. It's because
Toulouse really, they in terms of what they bring to that comp, they're a full-time team at the moment, and we've got to be, they're not even talking about establishing. It is about establishing a roster, but it's like, are you ready for Super League? Sean Longer old him. He's going, yeah, I think we will be ready. Toulouse would feel the same, Bradford, York, but we're in mid-August and they've not made a call. Chris Radlinski is a person, he's the CEO of Wigan. I listened to him on that very same podcast, the Back 10, and I actually messaged him and said, mate, thank you for sticking up for the game. Because Wigan, they abstained from voting and he was unemotional, and he was like, I only got the information. I was told I was getting the information well in advance, didn't get any. I was like, I can't vote on this.
Yeah.
I can't vote whether to expand or keep it as it is. Yeah. And with no clear plan on what the future looks like, it's like, we're going to expand to 14 teams and then we actually don't know if we're going to promote and relegate.
Yeah.
It's like, really? That's where you're at?
And when you're just relying on rich fans to prop the game up, you're screwed. Like, you're screwed.
Well, fundamentally, that's what it comes down to, Charlie.
Yeah.
And I've heard people say, viewing figures are up, attendances are up. But it's funny how figures and stats can be twisted. Up from what?
Yeah.
Because they're saying viewing figures are up. I'm like, by a decent percentage, I'm like, and crowds are up. And I'm looking at the crowds and going, they don't look up to me. No. But I think what they're saying is they're up from last year.
Yeah.
So if you're
up from the COVID year where fans weren't allowed in.
Yeah, exactly. Well, mate, you can spin things like that.
Of course you can. Yeah. Of course you can. Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's what they're doing. But
yeah, it's a bit of a mess. It's a big mess.
A lot of a mess. They've scrapped their magic round as well.
Yeah.
And again, like, okay, well, why?
Yeah.
Like, it actually got some decent headlines. It actually generated some positive news for rugby league in England.
We over here copied it. It was that good.
Yeah.
It was that much of a success. We copied and brought it here.
Exactly.
NRL though, Jimmy. Tino Fa'asuamaleaui. Now, you got to feel for Titans fans. A couple of years ago, he signs a 10-year deal. They're absolutely stoked. And no one at the time really talks about the clauses, but obviously there was a shitload of clauses in. Now it turns out that Tino Fa'asuamaleaui can obviously leave the Titans as soon as the end of 2026, meaning he's eligible to be a November 1 guy. He is going to test the open market, and the big ones, Buzz Rothfield reported this, the Dragons are going to offer him the most money they've ever offered a player ever in their history, around $1.5 million a year to be their lead front rower. And the Bulldogs are in the race as well. Who knows? Maybe 2 pubs this time. 1 pub didn't get the deal done the first time. The Titans want to keep him, and the Perth Bears want to make him their franchise man. But it's terrible news for the Titans.
Potentially it is, yeah. Potentially it is if he goes. And you'd want him there.
Should we start with the Dragons and how he fits in there?
I think let's start with the Titans. So if I'm him, who's my coach? What's your plan?
Yeah.
Okay, you've got new ownership now. What is your plan? We're going to see Keanu Keeney play this weekend, I think.
He's in the jersey 18. Yeah. She'll come into the team.
Who's the coach? What are your plans? Why are we? You've sold me this dream before. Why have we gone off track? And where's your evidence to suggest that it's going to come back on track? I think as well for Tino, like, is it solely about money here? Because he likely took the highest bid to stay at the Titans. Then that loyalty was sort of tested, with the Dogs. He's gone, no, I'm all in here. But Tino obviously would be incredibly frustrated at being one of the best front rows in the comp and dealing with what he's had to deal with at the Titans. Now, if he moves, what is he moving for? He's going to get he's going to get financially compensated well, no matter where he goes, some more than others. But if he arrives at the Dragons, what's the situation like there? At the moment, they're very much a bottom 9 side. Yeah. Very much so.
I mean,
does he have enough to turn them into a top 8 side? I don't know. I think he'd help, but he'd want assurances that they're in for someone big in the creativity department.
Yeah. They lost 3 games by a point this year, though, the Dragons. Yeah. Imagine you flip them, they're well and truly in the top 8.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree, and I think they've held their gloves up well, and obviously Coach Flanagan has done a fantastic job. They've some of the young forwards have gone really well. King Tongia looks like he can play, but then they probably need, with Cork and Gutherson, they're at the what would they be like, early 30s?
Yeah,
both of them.
Yeah,
you'd want assurances that they're looking at, like Tino doesn't want to go to the Dragons on 1.5 and then turn around and say, well, we spent all our money on you. They need other acquisitions, I think, to complement Tino to make him happy.
Yeah. They've got some great young forwards coming through, don't they? Like Dylan Egan, obviously did his ACL, but he looked fantastic. Hamish Stewart, the Cashman boys. That's what they've got, that young guy. So if they could add him as their alpha, it does make a lot of sense. Yeah, but you're right. Their spine still needs a lot of work on it.
It does, and that might upset people at the Dragons, but it's hard to argue against.
Perth makes perfect sense, obviously, and you can see why Mal Meninga, and they've got a great relationship, Mal and Tino. I think I've said this story already, that the two of them were deep in conversation at the Perth Origin game. After the game, I saw the two of them down there in the tunnel having a nice long conversation. So they're obviously very close. And he's the perfect guy to also make you captain of a new franchise. Like, it doesn't get really better than that for Perth. If they could get him, would he go there? Who knows?
Yeah, again, it's probably going to be determined on the sell. It would be, again, a big financial package to bring him over as a marquee signing and all the
5 years, $7.5 million.
That's great, but he's getting big money now. It's about, like, Tino knows what frustration looks like now. He's been at Melbourne, seen the best, and he's gone to the Titans and seen, like, the poorer end of results. And if you're looking to leave, what are you looking to leave for? Like, if he goes and he goes to another team that, I guess, realistic, if you look at realistic chances of making the 8, and experts get things wrong, like Canberra. Like, there are certain outliers, like the Warriors a couple of years ago. We get things wrong, and people make mistakes, and bookmakers, Ladbrokes, they'd have, where would they have the Dragons and Perth on the horizon to win a premiership in the next 5 years? Let's if Ladbrokes, Tommy Hackett rings us up and says, mate, can you draw us a market
for Dragons win a comp the next 5 years? 75-1.
All the Perth Bears winning 1 in 5.
151-1.
Yeah, like they're long odds, and then even go like playing in big games, playing in finals. Like, they're like getting to a prelim. Even that, which is a big deal for a lot of players, like being in the mixer. Yeah, like the reality of it is, it could happen. But it's gonna take more than Tino. It's gonna take a lot of work, and I just think where he's at, he'd be looking at the situation and going, hang on. Am I just signing up for more of the same? Yeah.
I don't see how the Dogs could afford him, though.
No,
as that option. They're obviously in the running, but they're not going to be able to get anywhere near these offers at the Dragons in Perth. But then maybe money's not the biggest factor for them as well. But they got Leo Thompson coming next year on $800,000. The Dogs. Kikau's a highly paid forward as well. Lockie Galvin's on good money. Matt Burton will be getting good money. Stephen Crichton in the centres would be one of the highest paid centres in the game. Like, there's a lot of, I don't know. Max King needs an upgrade as well.
It's an interesting one with the Dogs in their cap, because they wouldn't have $1 million player.
Galvin's close to, isn't he?
Nah.
No, he's close to. Remember he was rejected $1 million a year from the Tigers.
It was less than $1 million.
No, it was close to, but he's close to $1 million. He's probably on that 900 market at the Dogs.
You reckon?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got him close.
Yeah.
Crichton
Burton
close,
would be
Burton
close. Yeah.
Kick out.
Thompson's on
Close.
800. Kick out would probably be on what,
Yeah.
750?
Like,
There's players they've got to upgrade though.
yeah.
Like and
Yeah, oh, no doubt. I guess if Tino went, people would be up in arms because if he's getting, what did you say, 1.5?
1.5 is the top offer he's going to get.
Yeah, the Dogs could get nowhere near that.
Because they got to re-sign Jacob Preston as well, the Dogs. It's a tough one. It's a tough one for them.
It is. Well, again, I think they like him, but whether or not they can afford him is a different matter.
Should he leave the Titans?
Depends what their coaching setup is like and what they're going to do with their roster in the immediate. Forum moves on. Obviously, unknown about Fafita. I just wait. I think in all likelihood, if he does move though, I'd predict he goes to Perth.
Yeah,
Fresh start.
Yeah,
like a reason to be optimistic. Where, with due respect to like Dragons, I don't think he'd feel that same level of freshness of something new. That's just observations. Speaking of Jacob Preston, I was at the Dogs game on Saturday. Took my daughter and some of his friends and some dads.
Nice.
It was really cool. Met Jacob Preston's brother.
yeah. What's he like?
Massive. Like, he is huge.
Not fat, just tall.
No, just tall. Really good guy. Met his mum as well. Met Lockie Galvin's parents. It was I met Harry Hayes' brother. It was
cool.
funny, like
Because you were in the friends and family. Is that where you were?
Yeah, and then we went into the sheds after the game. Like, the
beautiful.
kids loved it.
Yeah.
But it's funny, like I'm asking if they can get a picture with the kids. It's like, oh, is it all right if you get a picture with my brother? I'm like, yeah. It's like it kind of strange in a way, but no, they were absolutely fantastic. And it was good to get behind the scenes. Stephen, mate, honestly, like you mentioned Stephen Crichton and what the financial package that he's on and the contract, you can't put a value on what he does for that club and his dedication and commitment to the fans. Like, there was I guess a family friend, Tony Hayek. He runs a company called Blue Wealth Property. Anyway, he was in the same sort of area, and a friend of his had brought his daughter up from Melbourne, and she got a picture with Stephen Crichton. Mate, she's crying. She would have been like maybe 13, 14. She's like, this is the best day of my life.
Yeah.
Like, and Crit is so giving with his time. Like, he stops for every photograph. Like, people like genuinely look up to him. And I like, you know, my daughter and a couple of her friends, they got a picture with him. They just, oh my God, Stephen Crichton.
Yeah.
It's like, it's pretty amazing what they got pictures with the Galvin as well. One of them used to be a West Tigers fan. Now she's a Bulldogs fan.
Because of Stephen Crichton. Wow.
Well, just because we were at the game and I think I've converted it. Yeah.
He's got that aura, Stephen Crichton. He's one of those players with that aura. Like, where he has a presence when he walks in.
He sure does. He's a magnificent leader.
Well, speaking of the Dogs, Jimmy, we're doing some burning questions today. So the Dogs one, basically these are the burning questions heading into finals. And the Dogs one, Jimmy, is do the Bulldogs have enough firepower to match the best in finals?
Yes is the answer. I believe they do. Because it's their defence is what is going to be needed. And I think they've got enough strike on that left edge. Burton, kick out. They can strike a real threat. Cherry on the end of it as well with Carraz offloads. And then the other side of the field, Crichton. And I've really liked how Stephen Crichton is not just staying in the centre and he's almost playing like a bit of a second fullback style role. I think that is really going to add to the attack and the man you mentioned before, the young kid at 19. We've not seen anywhere near his best yet. Obviously, finals is going to be a lot of pressure, but I think we can see some good stuff from Galvin. I think they're they can mix it. That I think, again, I've said this multiple times, that whatever happens this year is a bonus, but I think the Dogs can mix it.
You like Hayward now starting at 9 as well?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's hard to split between him and Reid, but the staff know the style that they want to play, the style that they don't, and they've backed Hayward. I'm not splitting hairs or stressing. It's mate, there'd be selections that get made, and you go, "Oh, I wouldn't have done that." Like, this isn't one of those. This is like, "Oh, right, okay,
yeah,
fair enough."
It's funny though. Like at the time when all that talk was about, oh yeah, Lockie Galvin coming, that's only going to change one member of the spine. Oh, everyone's talking about this, that, and the other. The people that were talking about that stuff were right. Like Reid Marnie has gone to the bench, but Hayward has started.
Yeah, but that's nothing to do.
But everyone was saying there was the rumours around that Hayward was going to get the 9. Anyway.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is those people were right.
Yeah, I think that.
And at the time, everyone was like, "Oh, Lockie's going to take 2 spots in the spine." But in the end, the Dogs did reshuffle their spine.
Yeah, they did, but I think if they land Galvin or not, this is exclusive.
Yeah,
like this is nothing to do with Galvin and Hayward are suited better together. No, this is just for whatever reason that I don't know the answer to.
Discipline, I think, was the thing that was the talk at the time.
Apparently gives away a lot of penalties, but
he was I think he conceded the most penalties last year.
Honestly, I like the old Reid better. That's just me being my own personal opinion. Whether or not that's right for what the club are after and the team want, but when Reid was getting under people's noses and pissing people off in the opposition, and when you see Hetherington cock a fit, like, you've won. Yeah,
off to the Cowboys as well. Why not? Bring Hayward in if he's going to start next year. Why not get him starting now anyway?
Well, because obviously they've made the call that they think the team is better suited.
And he's re-signed this week as well, so that's good news for Doggies fans. The next burning question, Jimmy, it's the Raiders. Are the Raiders too young to win the comp?
Well, they're not too young. No, there's no age limitation on what it is going to take. But
maybe should the question be, are the Raiders too inexperienced to win the comp?
Well, not when you look at who else is in the mixer. And Penrith, they're not guaranteed that top 4. I think if the Raiders finish first and if they win that first home semi, like, I reckon they're going to go. The more and more I think about it, the more and more I think they're going to rest players round 27, which is going to really help the Dolphins, because they're going to know they go all in on that first week. Like, that is going to be a huge game for them. So if they win that first game, I think they'll be fine. If they don't, that's where I think they may struggle. Yeah. But I think a lot rides on that first home semi in Canberra. A lot.
Yeah, because then, I mean, you think about it, then prelim, they've got a wounded team coming to them who's gone the hardest way. And it's likely if the ladder works out the way we think it will, it's likely a Storm or Bulldogs that end up having to go to Canberra in week 3 to make a spot in the grand final.
Yeah. So
and Canberra, like I did the ladder predictor yesterday on a podcast with Buzz Rothfield and Brent Reid, and Canberra should have enough wins to be able to rest easily and still guarantee the minor premiership in that final round.
Yeah, absolutely.
They got the bye this weekend. I can't wait for the week after, which is Penrith, Canberra in Mudgee. Like, how good for the people in Mudgee that they've got that game.
That is awesome. Brilliant, yeah.
Great area, Mudgee, as well.
Yeah.
My friend's got a farm there, wineries, all that jazz. Great spot. Next one. Are the Storm lacking killer instinct?
It's strange watching the Storm. Like, it really is. We've been at a couple of their games live, and I've watched them on the TV, watched them live, and they just seem like they're missing just a bit of, like, that. Yeah, I mean, you could call it that killer instinct, that 80-minute performance of ruthlessness that you associate with the Storm. There's a couple of times they've played in games and they make some silly errors. Harry Grant's been penalised, obviously, for a couple of kicks and, passing. Some of those, look, I don't agree with, but maybe you've just got to play the game. Like, yes, it's annoying, but just leave it, park it, just forget about it.
It's 2 years though of this now though of this them lacking 80-minute performances. It's not. It's been an issue for the last 2 years.
Yeah, and when I think there's an argument there that they probably quite haven't had the continuity that they would have liked, the combination building that they would have liked in terms of their spine. I don't know the numbers on it, but if you go Pappenhausen, Munster, Hughes, Grant, like that spine on paper, I think you're fair to say trumps all the other ones, including Penrith, including Brisbane. But they just don't seem to have that full-on killer in them at the moment where they put a really good side away. Yeah. Like they should have put Brisbane away for more than what they did.
Yeah. Even in that first half, mate, obviously Coates gets that runaway try, and the hammies get done on that play where Mam does his hammy and Adam Reynolds does his hammy. But it was a pretty tight contest.
Well, Staggs bombed one.
Yeah, Stabs did bomb
Staggs
one.
bombed, like he should have scored.
Yeah. And the Broncos were having good field position. They were handling Melbourne's attack as well.
And even when you think of Melbourne, you think about how good defensively they are. They were getting scattered by Haas. Like, I know it's obviously it's Payne Haas, but he was scattering them and then...
Gee, mate, I was obviously on the sideline for that game. Haas, like the way he moves, considering he's a front rower, it's actually not human. It's not human. Like he moves he almost moves like a Tony Staggs. And he's in the middle of the field.
He is an incredible rugby league player.
Yeah. He is like worth whatever any club. He could be a $2 million a year player. He's that good.
I think they need to test his genes and maybe just put it in a lab one day in case AI take over. I'm for humans to fight AI. I'm sending Payne Haas.
I'm sending Payne Haas.
Like
every day
we're gonna have to buy him out of his deal at the Broncos to fight for the human beings versus artificial intelligence because you ain't stopping Payne Haas.
He pretty much played 80 minutes, I think, in that game as well. He probably got off. I think
he's got
a
bad quad, bad neck, or bad back. It's
freakish.
Yeah, it's not well.
Speaking of freaks, the Penrith Panthers. I think this is a good question. Are the Panthers going to be too tired to go all the way this year? Now, the next 3 weeks for them are big. They're at home to the Storm today. They play the Raiders the week after in Mudgee, as we just mentioned, and then they play the Dogs at Accor Stadium the week after. They finish with the Dragons in the final round of the season, which I think they're going to have to rest for. Unless, obviously, they're battling for a top 4, they're going to have to rest for that game.
Well, the reason I say they won't be too tired is I've never seen them tap, ever. I go back to that grand final last year. Every other team taps. Penrith didn't. And they get tired, but they don't stop. Like, people, I guess, were talking about that game like, it wasn't a great grand final. It was. You don't understand rugby league if you don't think that's a great grand final.
Yeah.
You compare it to 2003 and the comeback win from Penrith.
2023.
Yeah. Sorry, 2023. But that was an all-out rugby league war.
Yeah, man, I loved it. It was an amazing game.
The level, I kept thinking they're going to crack. They're going to crack. Both teams, to be fair, played their part. Penrith don't get tired.
No,
they don't. Well, even when they do get tired, they don't stop.
Yeah, the Storm would have beaten any other team easily.
Oh, it would have been
on grand final day.
It would have been a bad grand final.
Yeah,
if Storm play anyone else but Penrith, and if Penrith play anyone else but Storm that day, would have been a bad day for grand final.
Yeah,
but with Penrith, I think you look at their next 3 games and you go, it's going to be hard for Penrith. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for Canberra. It's going to be hard for the Dogs. And it's going to be hard for Melbourne.
Yeah, I mean Melbourne without Pappenhausen as well. Big out for them.
That's this week. That's tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Either way.
Indeed.
A team that's not contending, Jimmy. This is not a burning question, but this is a story that's come out today. The Mole's broken it. So maybe we take it a little bit with a grain of salt.
Yes.
A little bit of a grain of salt.
A fraction.
But the old boys...
Bit of Himalayan.
The old boys have turned on Anthony Seibold, apparently, led by Anthony Watmow, according to the Mole. Basically, the old boys want Matt Ballin to be the coach. He's obviously played for Manly, over 200 games for Manly. They want him to be the head coach. and they don't think Seibold's the right man for the job. It's the old, a manly team needs a manly coach.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's great that old players care about their football club and they want their football club to do well. But I don't look at Manly and think, oh, they need a Manly person in. And what even is that? Like the Bulldogs fell into that trap. Then they get Hasler in because they'd been the family club and it always had to be linked. And then obviously Hasler moved on and then it's, oh no, we're going to go back to the, what a Bulldog really means. And I'm not sure I'm not sure you need a person that's been at the football club to do that. I don't look at Manly and think they're that far away. I think Seibold should continue his job next year. It's been an emotional year for Manly. Obviously, a few injuries hasn't helped, but that's no excuse. But since round 3 or round 4, when DCE made that announcement, I mean, it's hard to see them making finals. I think that speaks to some issues there that may be resolved now that DCE moves on. And I don't think Seibold will be under pressure to keep his job.
They get better probably next year with Fogarty coming.
Yeah, and I think even when you go, well, who's next after DC, after Seibold, if he is under the microscope next year? I mean, yeah, Matt Ballon is probably a great coach in waiting, but I don't think he's the obvious candidate.
Yeah, and that's a job, the Manly job, given the young players they have and the stars they already have. It's a pretty attractive job.
Oh, massively attractive job. Yeah.
Jay Trbojevic is interesting as well. It looks like he's going to sit out for the rest of the season now as well. Obviously, 3 concussions this year. It does mean that they're going to put his contract talks on hold for a little bit. Get that sorted. So it was sort of discussed if it was finalised. That deal hasn't been finalised. Obviously, Jay Trbojevic, whatever happens to him, he'll have a job at Manly for life anyway.
Yeah, and Jay just needs some time. He doesn't be told what to do by me or by anyone else. He speaks to his doctors and his family and does really it's a bit of a risk assessment. Yeah, it's never enjoyable to see a player leave the field in that fashion. You can see what Manly and the game means to him. But yeah, just get as much information as you can and then make an informed choice and accept the responsibility that comes with making that choice.
We did have a Make Jimmy Laugh for today that a listener has sent in. Brad has DM'd us on Instagram.
Okay.
I've watched it. It's very funny. So for context, a cameraman is working at an local AFL game. You know how they film a park game and you can watch it so a cameraman's filming it. He's obviously not realised that there's a mic attached to his camera. But I'll play you this and take a listen to that.
For real. Because sometimes I feel like my dick could cut glass. Like when I wake up in the morning, it's so rock solid. I could just cut glass with it.
Am I just gonna hear you guys talking?
Nah, there's no mic. There's no microphone.
Yeah.
At least I don't think so.
Oh my God.
He's just obviously talking shit with the other people who are filming it. And then he gets warned, which you'll hear in the audio, he gets warned by someone else who sounds like they're down the line or a bit further back from the mic that, oh yeah, there's a mic there. But he says, no, that doesn't think there's a mic.
Hot mic. I mean,
hot mic.
Yeah. You
got to be careful.
You do.
Sounds like a bit of a weirdo though, that guy.
Yeah. I mean, why would you want to cut glass?
Yeah. And also, why are you bragging about your morning glory?
Yeah.
That's more of another issue. Good on you, mate.
Yeah.
We've all got morning glory. Congrats, brother.
Yeah, and I'm certainly not thinking about what a strange...
He almost sounds attracted to his morning glory.
Yeah. Well, I guess what a strange bonus to waking up like that. I could cook glass with this. What? Yeah.
You're relax.
No.
Relax.
I know what I'd like to do with it. Cutting glass is not on the agenda. No, I like that. Well done, whoever sent that in.
Yeah. Before we preview the round, Jimmy, just quickly, it looks like Jason Demetriou is going to get the Papua New Guinea job. We've had a bit to do with Jason. He was part of the round table here at the Byron when he was coaching at the Bunnies. Works at Triple M as well with us. Great man.
He is, and delighted for him. Obviously, that time at Souths, He's coached. He's cut his teeth in the Queensland Cup. Probably didn't work out for him as well as he would have liked. You don't need me to say that, but now he obviously coaches the national side there, so he'd have a decent understanding of the runnings, because I imagine it is slightly different how things work over there than how they do over here. I think that's I don't think I'm offending anyone by making that observation, but it would propose different challenges and different difficulties in order to make arrangements, and then obviously the selling of the club and the the recruitment of a lot of players. But you imagine they're going to target some of the Cummels players, and no one's in a better position than JD to do that.
Yeah, I think talking to him, they obviously realised that for PNG to be successful in the long term as a franchise in the NRL, it's so important that they have a grassroots feeder system set up in Papua New Guinea, where the best Papua New Guinean players are getting the training they need to become the best NRL players they can go. Because there is a bunch of freak talents over there, but the level of setups in those pathways is not anywhere near what you have here in somewhere like Sydney. So he's all about building that, and in his mind, the team needs to be at least 75% Papua New Guinean, because that's how it's going to be sustainable in the long run.
Yeah, that people will talk about government initiatives and wars with China, like whatever. For me, it is what it is. But for me, as a rugby league fan, I know there's untapped potential all over the world in terms of what potential athletes that could go on to make it as rugby league players. I'm one of those. I come from Liverpool, where there is no pathway system, but I segued into that. A load of my mates, had they been given, I know plenty of people that had they been given a pathway, they would have jumped on it and they would have made pretty good rugby league players. And PNG clearly has a history of producing those without the pathway system. So you put in the correct pathway systems, you think about the level of football education that they will receive, the training, the facilities, the standards. It's going to drive that competition, and then the fruits of that are going to be ready for picking in 5-10 years' time.
Yeah. And then they're coming in 2028. So maybe there'll just be a sprinkling of those players at the start, and then it will grow as things go on. But I love that JD's doing that job. And if you he's go listen to the round table if you want to know. If you're from Papua New Guinea, or if you're very interested in the Papua New Guinea franchise, go listen to Jason Demetriou on the round table and hear some of his ideas, philosophies around players. He knows how to get the best out of players. Everyone that plays for him loves him, and he's a great tactical mind as well.
Speaking of the round table, we are going to be recording quite soon again. So if there are any requests for topics from our fans, our listeners, our supporters, please let us know in the comments. One thing I'd like to talk about is injury and injury prevention. I hope that is on one of the topics, Charlie.
We can add it in there, Jimmy. You're the boss here. I will reveal that. Can I reveal, Jimmy, who one of the participants in the round table is going to be? I know sometimes you don't let me do that.
No, I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No,
okay.
No.
All right. I will say this. The executive we've got is a genius of rugby league. A genius. A guy who everyone is going to be very interested in hearing from.
I'm with you.
And then the other is one of the great journos in the game. And then the coach. The coach is going to be good. It's going to be a really big name one way or the other. Anyway, we'll reveal more as we know. Let's preview the round.
Yeah, let's do it, Charlie.
Panthers Storm, game of the season. Yes, there's no Isaiah Yeo, no Jerome Hughes, no Ryan Pappenhausen, but this is going to be an incredible game.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. I liked their game earlier in the year. I think it was round 3.
Yep.
I thought Penrith take more from that game. And
was that Cleary HIA?
Yes, it was.
Goodness me, that feels like a lifetime
it was
ago.
not long after Vegas, actually, Charlie. And it was. We were battling. We were still recovering. But I remember that game and thinking, Storm win, but Penrith take more. Penrith should feel as though they've got the beating of Melbourne, and Penrith have come so far since then. I think they'll get the victory. I really do. Nelson not getting in the team is strange.
I think Bellamy was furious with him for the incident that got him suspended in the first place.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
They've been worried about his discipline. In all honesty, I think Melbourne would be pretty happy to see Nelson go.
But I mean, I'm just trying to put myself in the Penrith room when that team sheet comes out. I don't. I'd rather not play against Nelson.
Yeah.
And I've thought this before, where I hated playing against good rookies because you don't quite know what they're going to bring, but I don't want Nelson on that team.
Yeah. No, it's fair enough. And mate, he might still play.
Yeah,
he might still play. Like, he could be ducks and drapes a little bit and he comes in last minute.
But I think for me, Panthers get the win.
Panthers get the win. I agree with you. Warriors, Dragons. I'm actually going to be in New Zealand for this game. Going.
Oh,
over.
yeah, you're going on the Triple M junket.
That's
yourself,
right.
Wade Graham, Ben Dobbin.
That's right. Wade Egan's back as well for the Warriors. That's a big in for them.
It is.
Kate Ball's out with concussion. Tanner Boyd's in. It's a tough game to call, because I think the Dragons might get this.
Well, on current form, that they should. I just feel as though the Warriors are gonna get off for this one. A couple of losses in a row, and they'll realise they need to stop that rotten ASAP. Wade Egan, although he's back, it'll make a difference. That young lad that's played, his name escapes me.
Sam Healy.
Yeah, he looks like a
good player.
Good player, and
so he's been down to the bench. So
nice,
Wade Egan had been playing 80, but they got him on the bench there.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll be a 60-20 split, something like that.
I'm gonna go the Warriors in a close one.
Okay.
I just. Obviously, Dragons had some great wins, but yeah, Warriors in a close one.
Did you speak about Shane Flanagan re-signing yet? Because that's obviously broke late last week. That's a big bit of news for the Dragons.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Look, Coach Flanagan has done enough there to earn a new deal, and had it have dragged on any longer, the Dragons risk him leaving, going somewhere else. And look, if they're in the market for Tino and other players, they want to know who their coach is. And if they don't sign Flanagan for beyond next year, I think he's done a fantastic job. Like, a lot of people tipping them for the spoon last year. They've overachieved there. A lot of people thinking they'd be bottom 4 this year, and they're clearly not going to be a bottom 4 side. So overachieving based off what they've got. He'd like to build that roster. If they move on, you could argue they're starting again. That's not going to help them in attracting those type of genuine marquee players that they're in the market for.
Should say as well, the Pots are back this weekend.
Yes, the Pots are back.
Tell you what, Jimmy, you've had a tough couple of weeks on the Pots.
Tough couple of weeks. I went all in on Parramatta to cover the line, and Josh Adokar and Lomax duo's favourite feature. Looked like I was flying home, but
Trainer didn't help you, did he? The trainer where he got in the way of the ball, that didn't help you. But you can't win them all.
You can't,
We're
mate.
We're going to go the 6 again, though, next week. And, if you want to get involved.
This week.
Yeah.
We're doing it all the way up to finals.
Doing all the way to finals, yeah.
Get
So
involved
just
in the
get
pot. It is a lot of fun, and I want to bring my A game this weekend.
All right. Friday night, Jimmy, a game I'm very much looking forward to. I have no idea where the Roosters are actually at. They just put 60 on the Dolphins. They're coming up against the Bulldogs, who are a bit shaky as well. Siwa Wong's out with concussion. Connor Tracy's a chance to return. This was, of course, the return fix where Mark Nwangani Tawase nearly scored the greatest try I've ever seen, set the world alight with that try.
Yeah.
How do you see this game?
It's a great contest. It's hard to know what to read from the Roosters, and a lot of talk, mate, around is DCE distracting, the impact that it's going to have, and how great are these halves. But they're still 9th. Like, I think we probably didn't expect much from the Roosters this year because of that big overhaul of players, and some of the young players coming through, and Savala and Sandon Smith have been great, but they're still 9th.
Yeah.
Like,
however,
that is way off.
There's a chance for them this weekend, though, with the Broncos and the Dolphins playing each other. They, if, say, the Dolphins win, the Broncos, Dolphins, and Roosters will all be on 11 wins, 10 losses. So this is a huge game for them.
Yeah, it is. I just think the Bulldogs are ironing out their issues. The Roosters are going to come through the middle. Like, that's where the Dogs at the back end of last year, they showed a little bit of vulnerability, but they'll be ready for it. I think Tupanua may be back as well. Not 100% sure on that one. I'm obviously going to tip the Dogs, but it'll be a great game.
Of course, yeah, mate. Of course, going to tip the Dogs. I'm actually going to go the Roosters. I'm going to go Roosters. I think I just think they're going to have enough for the to handle the Dogs in this one. It's going to be a really good game. And Tupanua, Jimmy, is not in the side.
He's not in the side. Connor Tracy's in the extended
He's an
bench,
extended, so he's a good chance of returning, which was earlier than anticipated as well, so good news. Saturday, 3 o'clock, Sharks, Titans, as you mentioned earlier. Keanu Kinney, big chance of returning. Ramian out for the season hurts them.
Ooh, that is not good. I'm actually going to this game.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah. Looking forward to it, actually. A bit of a family outing. Go watch the Sharks, local team.
Yeah.
So
Should Wade Graham get you some tickets for that?
No, bought them myself. Ticketek.
You bought them yourself?
Yeah.
Wow. That's unlucky to open your wallet. And
just in GA, just casual. Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock on the hill.
Good on you, mate. Local legend James Graham will be there, guys. Britton Nicker is suspended for the season as well.
Yeah. Oh, look, the Sharks.
Not the season. I should say the regular season.
Yeah, the regular season.
Yeah.
The Sharks. They were supposed to sneak in underground, off the radar, under the radar, stealth mode. We finished round 27. It's like, how the hell are the Sharks in fourth? That was what was supposed to happen. I just don't know. That loss against the Dragons is just. They've still got favourable fixtures, but I just don't know where the Sharks are at. I think they've got to go with playing through Blake Brayley.
Yeah,
he's their best player. Forget Nico. Forget Trindle and who's dominant. It's just flood the middle, guys. Get off the back. A quick play the balls. McInnes, Fanua Blake. Look, Ramian's out now, so a bit of strikes on there. Nicker is not going to be there till finals. Iron out what your best football looks like, which in my opinion is just through the middle. It might not be, it might be not as entertaining as you may like and as silky, but get off the back, quick play the balls, Brayley, and you'll get the win. But it's a dangerous game. The Titans, they've actually done quite well the past couple of weeks. They're looking like they're improving. Keeney back.
Tino's back as well.
Tino's back. With not much to play for other than, a win that maybe gets them equal on points with other teams near the bottom. But the Sharks have got to win, mate. They can't have another. They can't fluff their lines again. They have to,
because then you start worrying if they're going to make the 8. I mean, they've run home so soft.
Yeah, they'll make.
Tell you what, the Sharks every year, mate, have the best draw. Someone needs to do an investigation.
Yeah.
The amount of top 8 teams they play compared to the other teams is out of control. Saturday 5:30, arguably match of the round. Brisbane Derby, obviously restructured for the Broncos with Walters in at 5'8", Ben Hunt at halfback, Corey Pakes goes to hooker, Karapani's in for Selwyn Cobbo, so a lot of reshuffling there. Cody, but yeah, Jimmy, it's going to be a tough game, isn't it?
I can't understand how Jesse Arthurs doesn't go in for Cobbo.
I like Karapani personally, mate. I really like Karapani.
I know, but I like Jesse Arthurs as well.
Yeah, they've got some depth there, but I think Karapani's carries out of the back. Maybe defensively he's a bit better than Arthurs, in Madge's opinion.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Again, surprised that Walters in at 5'8" as well.
Would you have gone for Jock Madden?
I just don't know if I'd take a real. I don't know if I'd be forced to make that change in Walters because he is such a danger off the bench at 9. I've really liked what he's bought, and I just don't know if him playing at 6 is going to bring as much.
What? So would you have gone Stags maybe?
Yeah, maybe. And because I just think it puts a lot of pressure now on Ben Hunt to do everything. So he goes from 9 to I'm back playing 7 now, and it's all on me. He's got to do all the organising. Walters will help to an extent, but Benny's going to have to do all the kicking, you'd imagine. I'm not saying with Stags is in there, but
Ben Hunt on the edge defensively was a bit of a liability at times against the Melbourne Storm as well.
It's going to be interesting. I think I'm going to pick the Dolphins to bounce back.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the Dolphins win. Saturday night, Jimmy, Bunnies against Parramatta. Both these teams should be safe now, avoiding the spoon. Some real green shoots at Parramatta, as everyone's been saying. It's become the catchphrase for the Parramatta Eels is green shoots. The Bunnies, the big one, Cody Walker, potentially back in. He's in the extended squad. So if you add him back, you got Latrell back already. Latrell's in the centres, Judd Gray's at fullback. It's going to be good. It's actually going to be a good game this one.
It should be a good game.
Yeah.
I like Latrell in the centres. Just got to get him the ball and watch him do some magic. You don't need him doing the backfield carries. He's not what he's there for. I like the Eels though.
So,
Yeah, Eels for me.
Yep. Sunday afternoon, Tigers Manly. Oh, part of me likes the Tigers. I think the Tigers might win this one. It's at Allianz Stadium.
They're off a bye as well,
Off
aren't
the
they?
bye. Manly a bit shell shocked.
Yeah.
Turbo stayed at fullback. Leo Hapuate's gone into the centres.
Look, I don't trust the Tigers, but I think they'll win. I don't trust them, but I think they'll win.
Yeah, this is one of those ones where if you got your Ladbrokes account, you just avoid it.
You
just
go some
avoid it.
anytimers.
You get your mate. Yeah, no result.
Yeah,
no
you
result.
don't go result on
Nah.
this. You just go turbo anytime. You maybe go buller anytime.
Yeah,
Bit of duos action.
yeah.
Maybe overs on the points.
Maybe.
I reckon overs, whatever the spread is there. But yeah, leave the result alone.
Cowboys against the Knights then to finish the round. Did you tip? You tipped the Tigers in a you
Yes,
tipped Tigers,
I did. But
either way.
I mean, there's not a lot of faith in that.
Yeah. Cowboys Knights. Connor Vitano making his debut at fullback for the Knights. Be interesting to see how he goes.
Great name.
Great name. Another great rugby league name to join a long list of fantastic rugby league names. Who do you like, Jimmy? Cowboys or Knights?
Connor Fontano. It almost sounds like
Bit
a
Italiano.
gangster. Yeah, a bit of gangster.
Yeah. he's a
like
bit- yeah.
yeah,
Like he's on The Sopranos or something like
yeah,
that.
or Tony Montana.
Yeah.
Like
I hope he
Connor
goes well.
Fontano.
I hope he goes well.
yeah, that's a
Um,
great name. The Knights, mate. I wonder if they've got the queue on the rack from Penrith, and Cowboys in the heat could be I think. I hope the Knights regather themselves defensively, but I've just got a feeling the Cowboys might run up a score.
Yeah.
But-
The Knights probably need one win to avoid this
Yeah.
to guarantee they avoid the spoon. They're on 6 wins at the moment. The Titans are on 5 wins, but their 4 and against is very close, and the Titans have a couple winnable games to finish the season.
Well, look, if the Cowboys can't defend against the Knights, there's some big issues
Yeah.
because they don't offer much.
No, definitely.
So, Cowboys should win.
I'm with you, Jimmy. Great
All right.
show as always, mate.
Yeah, Charlie, it's been great to be with you. And I'll see you on the other side. I'm going to go and lose consciousness. One of the great human inventions, that the ability to control consciousness and pain.
And good luck with your veins as well, mate. I know if you got I know it's vanity surgery you're going for.
I'm meant to be honest. I'm just going to get put to sleep. I don't
Yeah.
even care. I just love that sensation.
Just legal
Counting
drugs.
down. 5, 3, 2, 1. You're back in the room.
See you, mate.
I'll see if I can get them to put the veins in a jar and we can bring it in and
Ooh.
just pop it in the bar.
Yeah, that'd be
around.
great, actually.
Yeah,
that'd be
yeah,
great.
yeah.
We could maybe we auction it off, sell it off.
Yeah. But I mean, or raffle. Buy a ticket.
Yeah, buy a ticket to give it to charity.
Yeah.
Varicose
No.
veins research.
No, to the bar around charity. All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll catch you next week.